Welcome back in the animal cell culture. So today's topic is what are the various type of the animal cell lines. Already we have completed the introductions regarding the running chapter. So we will discuss about the what are the different types of cell lines, that is the animal cell lines. So actually animal cells line are categorized into the two part. One is called the finite cell lines and the second one is called the continuous cell lines. So let us see what are that finite cell lines or the continuous cell lines. Let us see about that. If we are asking about the finite cell lines, what the meaning of finite cell line is, that is the some fixed different timelines are there. There is some their lifespan is up to certain limited period. Therefore, it is called finite cell lines. It is not infinite. So, finitely there are certain limitation, and the growth of the cell line can be checked after reaching certain level. So, the first type of the animal cell line is called the finite cell lines, and another one is called the continuous cell lines. So, this is the two cell lines, and all these two cell lines have some differences. So, first of all, we must learn about the meaning of finite cell lines. The finite cell lines of animal cells are having short lifespan and their growth is not continuous. It means after some times it will be ceased, it will be stopped. Okay. On the other hand, if you are asking about the continuous cell lines, so continuous cell lines cultures are taken out or they are derived from the primary culture. We can say that. So these continuous cell lines are derived from the previous culture cell lines. So as an cell is continuous, it means it is proliferating continuously without stopping. This is the difference. And another thing is that the finite cell lines, the growth rate is very short. It is not rapid. On the other hand, continuous cell lines are having very faster growth rate. Therefore, this finite cell lines growth is coming to around the 24 hours to 96 hours. But you can see that continuous cell lines is having the doubling of their cell numbers is about 12 hours to 24 hours. So it is very rapidly or it is very faster as compared to the finite cell lines. So let us see what are some common differences. First one is that finite cell lines, it has limited lifespan. It means after 3-4 generation the cell will not continue to grow. So limited lifespan means it is not profusely or continuously growing generation. After reaching some life cycle, after some generation, it will be stopped. But on the other hand, they are with the long lifespan and they are cultured in vitro. They are cultured in vitro, so they are continuously going on by generation to generation. Now the second one is that I already told about the karyotype. Finite cell lines, like the primary cell culture, they are karyotype. Karyotype represent the total set of chromosome number per cells. It means whatever the nucleus is having the chromosome number, that is called the karyotype. The karyotype of finite cell lines are identical to the original ones, but these continuous cell lines have some difference, that is they represent the ploidy. What the meaning of ploidy? Aneuploidy, polyploidy? It means 2, 4, 8 or 2, 4, 6 like that. Their number of chromosomes is doubling or increasing generation to generation. So they have change in ploidy. It means the basic set of chromosome number has been changed. That is called the ploidy. But here there is no ploidy. Chromosome numbers remain the same. That's why I call the karyotype remain same. And here the karyotype is changing or the ploidy is changing. It means basic sets of chromosome number has been changed. Now the next is that you must know about the contact inhibition. This is the contact inhibition. Next, the density limitation encourage dependence. There are the three terms are there. It means finite cell lines are showing the contact inhibition. What the meaning of contact inhibition? When we are culturing the cell in a test tube or in a culture vessels, cells start to glow. But when the cells come to each other or closer to that, one of the cell has ability to stop the another cell. That is called the contact inhibition. Now the density limitation, if you go through the population growth curve or the population density, the population of any species or any cell lines are dependent upon the two things, that is the density dependent and density independent one. So what are the factors that are responsible to slow down or that are able to restrict the density limitation? Include diseases. Mostly the diseases are there, even the competition. When the cells are growing in a culture, they need for the far food, so they start to fight. So in this way, some of the cells will die also. So this is the density limitation. And anchorage dependence means it requires some support for the growth. On the other hand, let us see here, there is no contact inhibition. Actually, continuous cell line do not have contact inhibition. Density limitation is reduced or negligible or lost. That have density limitation. It means there are the chances of fighting between the cells for the nutrients, for the space, etc. But here is no such situation. Now, the colony which is formed is in the form of a monolayer growth form. Here is a monolayer growth form. So, what is the monolayer growth form? It means the identical colony with the same number of the cells. On the other hand, this is monolayer suspension form. Suspension related to the liquid. Now, already told the growth rate doubling ratio is about 24 hours to 96 hours. On the other hand, this one, that is the continuous cell lines are having the time period around 12 hours to 24 hours. So this is the distinction between the finite cell lines and the continuous cell lines. So another thing is the physical environment for culturing animal cells. What are the physical environment required for a proper growth of the animal cells which is culturing in vitro? So there are, first one is the physical one. So these physical factors include, first number is pH. The basic pH required is here 7.4. It means animal cell culture can profusely grow at the pH 7.4. And a good pH is responsible for the good enzymatic reactions. Therefore, the pH value for the particular culture medium or the cell will be constant. It will not less or it will be higher. So, how the pH is maintained? pH is maintained by this pH is maintained by CO2 carbonate buffering system. Okay, so pH is maintained by the carbonate buffering system. Let us see how it happened in the cell. Suppose CO2 plus H2O, what it will give? H2CO3. The increased concentration of H2CO3 cause the medium acidic. Now it must be neutralized. How will it be neutralized? It will be neutralized by buffering of sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. So what we did, NaCO3 added there, and this sodium bicarbonate is responsible to minimize the acidic medium, and it maintain or it will be carry on till the pH will reaches to 7.4. It means the balanced pH 7.4 should be always, and if there is a elevation or there is a decrease of the pH, so it will be maintained by using the carbonate buffering system. Now next to temperature. The range for the temperature for the best growth of animal cell is ranges between the 35 degree centigrade to 30 centigrade. Actually, what is this region? Actually, at very high temperature or very low temperature, what happens? Whatever the contents which is used on the nutrient medium will not function. Therefore, even the some of the enzyme will be also denatured. So, to keep that in a good phase or good condition, we will prefer to the pH 35 to 37 degree centigrade. And another thing is that if you are asking about the animal cell lines, so animals which are warm blooded, their body temperature ranges between the 36 to 37 degree centigrade. Therefore, this optimum temperature has been taken out for the proper growth of the cells. Now come to the medium, that is the culture medium. You must know what is the nutrient medium. Already you have studied about the nutrient medium. So once I just flash on the medium or nutrient medium. This nutrient medium is containing all the components which is required for the proper growth of the animal cells taken. And you know that all are cultured and profusely grow in the in vitro, that is in the laboratory, and it contains protein, vitamin, hormones, etc. Apart from that, nowadays what happens, that serum and antibiotics are also added. You know the serum is, what is the serum? Actually, serum is a fluid that is produced after the clotting of blood, and that serum is the hub or restorer of the number of antibodies, a number of amino acids, glucose, proteins. It means all the required material which is essential for the cell, animal cell growth culture are present in the serum. Therefore, it is used. But what is the application of antibiotics in the medium? The role of antibiotic, especially we are taking the penicillin. This is the penicillin is the one of the oldest antibiotic, and streptomycin. So these streptomycin and penicillin antibiotics are used in the nutrient medium to suppress the growth of the bacteria. If antibiotics is not there, what happens? The bacteria will be survive and they will kill the growing cells which are taking in vitro. So the use of antibiotic is to stop the growth of the bacterial culture which is growing in the animal cell culture. And the common antibiotics which are preferably used are penicillin and streptomycin. Apart from there, nowadays we are recommending or we are preferring serum free medium. Actually, these serum free medium continuously, if you are growing, it stops the growth of the culture cell. Therefore, because it has a disadvantages, so nowadays what happened? Serum free medium is added here. Instead of the protein present in the serum, we are preferring or we are taking the proteins or hormones which are produced by the recombinant DNA technology. So protein or hormones which are produced by the recombinant DNA technology has been replaced the serum. This is the one. Now what is the role of phenol red in the medium? Actually, phenol red is an indicator. It is the indicator that is used to distinguish between or to represent the acidic medium and the basic medium, that is acidic or alkaline medium. So when this phenol red, when the medium is acidic, suppose nutrient or culture medium is there and their pH is their pH is differing or changes. So what happens? Phenol red, which is a red color, and it will be converted into the yellow color. When the acidic medium is there, the phenol red color will be yellow, and when it is alkaline, then it will be the pink color. So this is added in the cultured medium so that a biotechnologist or the scientist or the person who are doing in vitro formation of the cells can recognize that the medium is acidic or it is alkaline. So this is about the requirement of the physical environment that is essential for culturing of the nutrient medium. So thanks for watching this video.